even 11. I might even go to 11. I hope none of you guys are playing around with 11 out there. Don't try that at home. Okay, so I'm drying my meat off. Let me show you that. Drying that meat, just a little paper towel. Dry, 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 dry. Get all in his armpits and everything. The drier it is, the better sear that we can generate, okay? You might have seen that in the Julia Child movie that was out a little while ago. I watched it for the second time not too long ago. And that was one of the things they talk about. You know, dry meat, wet meat does not sear. You can't get a golden brown. We're looking for a dry environment here, and that's what we're getting. So this next little escapade is going to be searing again. I'm going to go ahead and use my kitchen fat that I always use for everything. So there it goes, just a little fat in the bottom, maybe a little more. And I've got my tongs on deck, and I'm just waiting for the fat to dissipate, to melt, basically. I think my oven is a little cooler now, so I'm going to put my plates in there. Hot food on hot plates. And that is a hot pan. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these steaks in. When I drop them, I'm going to put one corner towards me and drop away from me. And I just gave it a little push. I'm going to drop one corner towards me and lay it down away from me, if I can get it to lay down there. I got a little room in between them, and now I'm going to step away from the steak. If it's not sizzling, pull the steaks out and get that pan hot, because you're not doing it right. It has to be sizzling like that. Make some noise, people. Look at that casserole. That is so badass. Look at that. Quarantine Qitchen. I'm just going to take a quick glance under there. There ain't nothing happening yet. Keep cooking. Step away. One thing you can do is you can baste a little if you like. We've talked about this before, okay? Capture some of that fat, splash it onto your meat, so it begins to cook from the top. When we sear the second side, there's not much danger of sticking either if I basted the top. And you can do that little basting trick a couple of times while this is going. One thing I can do is throw a few garlic cloves in the pan to flavor that fat. I didn't want them in there too early, so I think when I turn them, I think that's when I'm going to go ahead and throw these guys in there. Peeling garlic. There it goes. So there's a little garlic. You get that peel off of there. And then just smash gently. And I think I'm about ready to check out this meat. I'm turning it down a little. And I got a pretty decent sear on that side. Pretty decent sear on that side. Nah. I may flip it back over to get a little more color. At this point, I'm throwing in my garlic. And I'm flavoring that fat. And then I can baste with that. Knock it back in the fat. Basting the steaks. I don't want to leave that garlic down in there, so I'm just going to set it on top and let it cruise. You see that in all the celebrity cooking videos. They got little things floating around their fat. while these guys are cruising along, I kind of turned my heat down to about 8 out of 10. I turned it down a little too low for a second. But now I'm back to about 8 out of 10. I'm going to hit them with a little more of the salt on top. Just laying in a few more layers of that seasoning. And I'm going to start peppering things up. Maybe I'll do another little base. You guys get the idea? It's looking a little dry right there in that corner. I think I'll baste it. Don't let the kids do this part. It's kind of dangerous. And I'm just kind of feeling that meat to judge the temperature. You guys, if you're looking for medium rare, you probably want to pull those out at about 125. Internal, you'd use a thermometer to get inside there. I'm just kind of feeling it. It feels very, very soft inside. I think what I'm going to do is start cutting my, I'm going to start cutting my gratin over there while this is going on. So when I cut this guy, I use a little paring knife, and I'm just going to cut it like a pie. And I don't want to mess up the top. So I'm going to be very gentle, and I'll just cut half of this guy. The casserole's holding together. It's a little creamy and saucy. And I got a couple of nice pieces. Whenever you're cutting a pie or a casserole, do every cut twice. So they say measure once, cut twice. And this is just cut twice. Measure twice, cut once. Okay, so they're cut with my paring knife. I'm going to check these steaks again. A little bit of basting. And we're going to take a look at the other side. I might flip these guys over again. There's no harm in that. These guys don't have much time to go. Superfly, looking good. Okay, they're on their first side right now. And I think they're about done. Yeah, they're done. So what I'm going to do is pull them on out and let them rest. Oops. Sirloin steaks with some garlic. I'm just going to set that right there. And we are going to start putting some plates together here. Now that garlic is actually edible. It's just at the roasted garlic stage. It's not super hot. And so what I might do is just put together one plate for you guys, show you what it looks like. And then I got to set the table and clean up the kitchen and set up Ms. Nelson here, okay? But we've been seeing a lot of technique today, okay? Mostly this beautiful, beautiful potato casserole. Now, when we're plating, oftentimes the potato or the starch is going to be the first thing that goes down on the plate. I've got a warm plate here. The starch is kind of dense usually. It holds heat well, so that's always going to be kind of the first thing going down. So when I'm pulling this guy out of that container or out of a baking pan, I want a flexible spatula. So it's going to go down to the bottom of that pan and bend and get underneath that casserole. That's what I'm looking for, okay? And so that's what you're going to see here. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Hope I can get it all out and over here in one piece. But the first one is always the hardest, and this could have set a little bit more. It's a little drippy. Again, using the milk, but I'm pulling it on off, bringing it over, and I got it out in one piece, and that's beautiful on the plate. It's sliding apart just a little bit, okay? But it still looks good on the plate, and I think I'll turn that guy, and I will lay down a beautiful sirloin steak on the plate, like so. Two triangles working together. I love it. And then I've got my onions to serve with this. And so I got to make a little room, guys. Sorry. I got to figure out the flow of Quarantine Qitchen here. So here are my onions, my vegetable side. The last thing going down. I'm just going to drop in my red bell peppers, and I'm just going to give it the slightest kick of heat. And I'm going to toss in, well, I'll tell you what I'll toss in. That meat has a little juice. I'm throwing that in there. Flavor. Go into Flavor Town. I'm going to get in there, and I just need to warm this up. I said I was almost going to have those bell peppers at room temp. I want to taste a little bit of this. I might add a tiny bit more salt. No way. Beautiful. You're seeing it all come together here, guys. I didn't have a lot to work with today in Quarantine Qitchen. I think the only premium thing I had was my beautiful, beautiful steaks from VMillerMeats, okay? But also my heavy cream. Otherwise, it was like potatoes and onions and bell peppers. I didn't have a lot of exciting ingredients today. Going to the store tomorrow, most likely. On Wednesday, we're going to be talking to the famous and elegant and very, very beautiful Eric Veldman Miller of VMillerMeats on Folsom Boulevard. And we are going to talk all about his shop and all about what they're doing to serve the people. Natural meats, the best possible meat that you can find with the shortest possible supply chain there is, okay? Doesn't get any shorter than that. So that's what the conversation will be like on Wednesday. Please join us at about 4 o'clock, same kind of time. Quarantine Qitchen Happy Hour. Let me get a few peppers down on this plate, and I'm just going to throw a line of them right up the middle. And I think that's going to be dinner. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to throw down one little garlic clove onto the plate that you can see. And that'll be it, okay? Super, super simple today. Mostly a conversation about that beautiful, beautiful gratin. Let's take another look at her. Just awesome. I hope you guys are getting something out of these, okay? Take a look at that beautiful golden brown. Well, a little too close, okay? Beautiful, beautiful color on top, okay? Very, very happy with how everything came out. You guys now know how to make a gratin potato with no cheese at all. By the way, I have to taste this in front of you, don't I? Let's give this a taste and make sure. This is always tricky, you know? Remember, I couldn't really, I was tasting raw potato in the beginning, but it's hard to really judge seasoning on a potato, right? So let me grab a little bit of this. I want to see if any of that thyme flavor comes out, any of the nutmeg, all of that. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Awesome. Nailed it. Every time I'm getting that nutmeg background in there. It's just very mild and everything, but it's kind of a sweet taste to it. It almost does taste like there's some Parmesan cheese or something in there. It's got a nuttiness to it and everything, but yeah, I guarantee there's no cheese or anything in there. It's just a beautiful thing, and it comes out beautiful every time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got a little something out of it. I hope you guys are getting out and supporting restaurant workers out there across the industry, or your grocery people, your grocers that are making it all happen for our food supply chain, guys. It's a big job, and those guys are risking their lives literally to be out there, and it's just like makes me feel so insignificant when I see those guys out there. So please this, try to throw them business, try to support them as much as you can. Try to support these natural farmers and natural ranchers and everybody else that is providing this local regional food system that's giving us an alternative to that larger food system that may not have so much security as time goes on. So thanks again, everybody, for showing up. I hope you got a little something out of this. As I said, it's always so much fun for me to come and share this stuff with you. I just got to get this stuff out of me, and so I'm glad I can share it with all of you. Please come back again, and before you do, just don't forget in between now and then that the party is always going to be in the kitchen, guys, every day, and that's why I'm here. Thanks a lot, guys, and we will see you next time.